Oh, this is John Ross with the XPian News Daily Report for June 5, June 5th, 2020. And we're just so happy to be with you this afternoon. And our summer-like temperatures are coming up, it looks like, and everything along that line. So we're so happy to be with you. And we're going to have a special time with John Beall, Director of Masters Touch Ministry, Wayside Cross. This is going to be a Zoom video from taped a little earlier. We had reasons why we had to do it that way. So we're going to bring John up here. We're going to bring this up, and then we're going to start it here in a second. I'm going to bring it up. I'm going to get myself down. Yeah, we'll get this down right now. Okay, we're going to start our video here. Here we go with John Beall, Director of Masters Touch, Aurora in Wayside Cross. I guess we're online, John.
I see that.
Yes, it says we're recording.
Yep.
This is John Ross here with our XPian Daily Report for this June. It's hard to believe it's June 5, Friday. And we're doing this by Zoom, and we're going to pull it together for our later presentation at 5. So we have with us John Beall, who's the director of the Masters Touch program at Wayside Cross Ministries. Masters Touch is the men's program of Wayside. Welcome, John.
Hello.
Yes,
it's good to be here.
Good to see you, brother. Now, as you can see in the background, I'm using John's in his office, but I'm using the outside. I'm outside on the street here, I guess. This is a Zoom feature. I don't want to get, and sometimes I get a little hair growth too up there too. It's a little yellow sometimes. But anyway, we're outside Wayside. I hope the train doesn't hit me. But probably up on the railroad tracks the way it looks. But railroad goes right by Wayside, elevated railroad. So that's what I'm referring to if you don't know where we're at. Wayside's located down on New York and, Lincoln and Broadway, and somewhat LaSalle gets diverted here, but it's downtown Aurora. And John, it's good to have you with us. Can you give us a little about how you got to Wayside? I know you've just been director a little while here, maybe
Sure.
less than a year. How did you get over to Wayside?
I've actually been director for exactly a year at this point.
Oh, it's a year right now. Okay.
But I actually worked in the business arena for quite some time, covering medium and large business, both in the tri-state area and from Maryland through Maine. So I worked in business for over 15 years. Then while I was in business, I felt through prayer and reading that I needed to enroll in seminary full time. And I would love to think that happened in a week, but it actually happened over a couple months, in which I was like, yeah, I don't think that's what I want to do. So I went to seminary in Indiana at Mid-America Reformed Seminary, and I was full-time there for 3.5 years, and I graduated with my MDiv. And while I was there, I did volunteer chapel services at a mission called Morning Star Mission in Joliet. And and then, basically upon graduating from seminary, I really wanted any opportunity to work with a population in which they're in some sort of addiction or destructive life cycle. So
that's how you get a
that's what led me here. Randy Tomasi, the former director, was retiring after over 16 years.
Right.
And so his pastor actually reached out to the school that I went to a person at the school, and they reached out to me specifically to, and we're like, hey, this seems like a great opportunity for you. So that's how I got plugged in here at Wayside. I started as director on June 1st. I started here May 1st of 2019, and Randy Tomasi and I overlapped for a month, the former director.
Right. That's good. See, Wayside's been around since, now we got to get the year here, 1928.
Yeah, it's 91 years.
Yes, 91. It was just right before the Depression.
Yeah.
That Wayside was founded off of somewhat of the work of Billy Sunday, the evangelist from way back then. And wherever he went, he liked to start missions for those that were hurting, especially alcoholics and those that were hurting. So Wayside started that, and it's been going for a little while, and they have different locations. But this location here, I think it's been since the 60s, right? Something like that.
Yeah,
And
something like that.
then we had a big build in the last 10 years here. We had it's a really outstanding thing. We had a destruction and then a recreation here.
Yes.
We destroyed the old building, which I remember. Oh, they had a giant vault in there that was huge. I don't know why they had a vault, but I remember that was about the last thing they had to get out. It was horrible. It was big. It was just, anyway.
Sure.
Anyway, they destroyed that building and put up this building.
Yeah.
And we've had some very nice things with this building. How many men are at the facility now, would you say, John?
Is typically, it ranges on a daily basis between 70 and 85.
70 and 85.
Yep.
Yes. And what's the program geared to? What type of men are you bringing into this program? What's the background, would you say?
So we're bringing in men that are either in alcohol addiction or drug addiction or some sort of destructive cycle of behavior that they're looking to recover from. So it's not necessarily like a one size fits all. There are people here for various levels of addiction, but also there's people here with other destructive life cycles that they're looking to recover from.
Right. You've been working with a lot of different. This is the basis program or basic program that Wayside's had for many years. Sort of a little shift in the last 30 years here in the way this approach, but the men come in, they just don't walk off the street. Basically, they've got to have a little screening here, right?
They do. We do a phone screening if somebody comes in off the street. Then a lot of times in person, when they come into the lobby, we'll do a screening. But actually, given the current scenario, if somebody is not COVID-19 screened, they are not permitted to even stay in our lobby.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
if somebody walks in off the street, we just say, hey, do you have a COVID-19 screening? And then we can handle any questions in person from that point on. But a lot of those questions we do over the phone first. And the reason is because, sometimes we can answer the questions that someone has without them actually walking in person.
Right. And I think there's a misconception that Wayside they are working with homeless, but it's not a homeless ministry per se here.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, there are people that would be more like having no permanent address prior to here.
Right.
But it's not specifically a homeless ministry. So our Elgin Wayside Center
Right.
is more oriented towards the homeless on a day-by-day basis.
Right. And we have Hesed in Aurora here too that does that.
Yes,
So,
that's right.
But Wayside is working with those who have addictions, hurting in other ways. How long is the program? How does that work? I know you have different phases. I always get confused.
Sure.
I know there's
is,
different phases. Give us the phases here.
The program is 7 months.
How many months?
7.
7, okay.
And basically, if somebody comes in the door, then for the first 30 days, they're in what's called P phase. And then after 30 days, then they move into what we call phase 1. And they're in phase 1 for 12 weeks. So after that point, then we have the second and final phase of our program, prior to graduation, which is phase 2. So that's people in their last 14 weeks until graduation.
Yeah, and during that early phase, if I'm not mistaken, the men at Wayside are required to basically basically quarantined, or more or less they're a little more restricted, right?
That's right.
We sort of build up levels, right?
Right. If you're within your first 30 days, you're under what's called ground restriction, meaning you can't leave the property.
Right. You're trying to build the trust up with them. And we know many times that sometimes things happen and we have to say adios to some of these guys. And the other way, some of these guys just say adios.
Yes,
and
that's true.
But I think you would agree that you do offer second chances and maybe even third. It just depends on each case, but you do have a redemptive heart here, right?
Yes, very much. So we deal with everybody's individual situation with a lot of grace, and acknowledge that our own lives have been transformed by Jesus Christ. So, it's understanding that He transforms lives, and that can happen at any point.
Right. We all need that ongoing transformation, and
That's right.
we're building. I know what you're trying to do here is, I would say, discipleship. We're trying to build them up. When they come in, they necessarily don't have to have a Christian point of view, do they?
They do not. Yeah. Our requirement is only that you are willing to understand sort of the. So we're unabashedly a Bible-based, Christ-centered organization, and so if somebody does not have that viewpoint, that is no problem with us. As long as they understand that we do have that viewpoint.
You have that viewpoint. You have requirements too that the world doesn't have. Maybe you have studies and chapel and things along that line too, right?
That's right. Yeah, we have morning Bible classes from 7 to 8:30. We have then midday chapel once per week. We have evening chapel 7 days, 365 days a year.
Yeah, you're trying to get, everybody needs discipline. I need more of it. We all need discipline. And that's what being a disciple actually, same word. I mean, it's
absolutely
same derivative there. Disciple means, anyway, we want to follow Jesus, and that's what we're trying to instill. I know Wayside's trying to instill in the men. I should have said this earlier. I'm on the board of Wayside. I've been on the board since, mid-90s. It's a long time. I was chairman just right at the same time we were building this building. I probably before, just a little right before we got the shovel in the ground. So we were doing all the quote finance
Sure.
part about it, which was a big, wow. This building's about a $10 million building, and we got some good helps that it was really interesting at the end there to pull that all together, and we're really thankful for that. I want to get back to, I think we'll move on a little, maybe more about the COVID-19 and how that's affected your
Sure.
work. I know you've had somewhat of a lockdown, right? Basically there, right?
Oh, we did. Yeah. Well, during the period in which there was shelter in place, we didn't let people leave the grounds unless they were actively employed, which normally is only happening after graduation.
So you had very limited amount of that, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, it's only about 10 people.
Right.
So, we would have people's work schedules, and then they were to be back within their work schedule.
Right. Of course, then some of those jobs might have stopped too.
Right. Exactly. And we we had an understanding, and sort of we kept a dialogue with people, basically saying, hey, are you actively working right now, or is your work stopped, or is it paused, or
right. Now, John, you I got a picture. I'm going to later here we'll put up a picture of you doing a little with that thermometer, what we call it, the
infrared thermometer.
Infrared, that's the word
no
that comes to me now. But you've been doing that for quite a bit here, trying to make sure that our population here doesn't have a fever.
Yep, absolutely. So we, while we had population and we didn't have people coming in, because it was very difficult to get a COVID-19 test initially and get that turned around quickly. So we would every day check temperature to make sure of no fever, and of the men that are here. And actually, none had any sort of complications, including fever.
Right. And then, of course, the other part of that is it's just not the guys. We got to worry about the staff, too, not having anything here.
That's right. Yeah.
I want to say this. I maybe I said this to the executive director, Mr. James Lucas. At Wayside is sort of like the extended care place with their type of things, restrictions, and they have to watch because coming in here, if a virus comes in here, it's not too good. But you had some places set aside too if some had some symptoms, right? You had some areas
we did. We fortunately didn't have to use any of our quarantine environment, but we would have been able to quarantine quickly, and we were prepared for that. We didn't end up having to use it. We have not had to use it, which is great. We can really see God's hedge of protection around Wayside.
Right. Well, that's good. We'll just hope this keeps up. We're not so sure. I'm not so positive that the virus is done. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
And I don't want
until there's an effective treatment.
Until we have that vaccine,
vigilant.
Until we have the vaccine, I don't think there's. So I would encourage you to keep up that checks as much as possible, or whatever. However you feel you should do that, but we still got to watch here. It's a little wicked guy, I would say. It's evil. It's a bad virus. It creeps up on you in different ways too. It's not always the same symptoms.
Yeah.
So Wayside is somewhat coming back quite a bit, John, and I talked to some of my notes here. 1 second here. It's coming back. One thing I appreciate about Wayside, maybe many people don't know about, is I don't know how many of your guys are involved, but there's a handful that are involved with the Hope on Hope on Wheels situation. That's a
Yep.
beautiful program. That's back, right?
Yes, it is. So, now that Illinois is in phase 3,
Right.
and we're out of shelter in place, a ministry like Hope on Wheels, which does auto detailing, both outside and inside, is much more operational at this point.
Right. That program is very beautiful, and I've had my car detailed. I've had it just cleaned. And they do all that. You just got to call up for an appointment on that one. And John, you want to? I think we talked a little before we got online here about the store. How's the store looking up there? The Hope
So
Chest.
the Hope Chest, which is our thrift store ministry, is open. Of course, everybody's wearing masks. If a customer doesn't walk in with a mask, then they're given a mask right at the door, so that everybody's wearing masks and is spaced out. So they're limiting the number of people in the store also, including residents here. So residents here can shop at our thrift store, but they will be using the main entrances so they can monitor the number of people in the store.
Yeah, I know that a lot of stores are doing that. I know the one grocery store I go to quite a bit at Trader Joe. They watch the number going in.
Yep.
I'm fortunate though. I'm a senior, so they let me in early. That's one benefit of being an old guy. One benefit. Bad knees is not a benefit, but I do have, that's something I want to get rid of, the bad knees. But I got rid of that. It was really bad a few months ago. Praise God.
Yeah, but you can still go into Trader Joe's while I'm still standing outside the store in line.
I know. They've been waiting in line. I've been very fortunate. I got in real fast. I had to wait once, maybe for 6 people, but otherwise, they've had some long lines there. I've seen that.
Yep.
So but that's a good idea. I mean, you're doing that at Hope Chest. They have a limited amount of people, and just watch it, because, like I said, I just really believe this is a wicked virus, and it doesn't take much to get it back in stream. And maybe after this last week, a lot of people were out in the street doing a good thing. I think in a lot of ways they don't want, not about the vandalism and the looting, but they some of them didn't have masks on, or perhaps there's too much social distancing. So some are worried that there could be a big more an uptick here on the virus there. Oh, let me go back to that. Sunday night, Wayside was at the heart, or right near the heart of all these demonstration, and I would say the bad part of the demonstration, some looting.
Yeah.
Dan, you told me that
at one
somebody
point
tried to break in
they
Home
were
Chest.
looking 360 degrees and they could see explosions and fire from our building.
Right. You said some even tried to break in the Hope Chest, but they weren't successful.
Yeah, but we had residents positioned in the Hope Chest in the event that happened, and it was just kind of a few people. They weren't. I don't think they were super persistent about it, and certainly not with any breaking windows or anything like that.
Within a block, there was looting in a gas station and a looting of a liquor store. Then up the street, sadly, a burning of a Family Dollar store, and some other stuff downtown. But Aurora's really responded good, and that's one thing I'm proud of about Aurora, that they've actually got a lot of artwork downtown now. So they've beautified they made lemonade out of lemons, and Wayside has been doing that for many years, transforming people. And that's what we got to have, transformation of hearts, thinking about others too, about this racial matter. That's part of a heart. We got to change our hearts on that. we got to change our hearts to follow Jesus and his love that he shows us through his son dying for us. So we have other ministries there right at Wayside at the site here. More, we have the Hope Chest, and then we have the Hope on Wheels, and then we have many of our guys are working in sorting and doing those type of things too, right here at the warehouse.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So anything that's being donated in is, we have residents at the warehouse that are going through those donations and and sorting it, so that what is coming into the Hope Chest versus what is remaining in the warehouse.
Right. We have another store in Naperville, Sweet Charity too. That's open too now, Sweet Charity?
Yeah, Sweet Charity is open.
Okay.
It has probably each of those stores has different restrictions because they have different square footage. Okay. So in terms of the people that are allowed in.
Right.
At any one time.
So Wayside has 6 ministries, and the other is LifeSpring on the east side of Aurora, works with women.
That's right. Yeah.
And that are under distress. Then we have our Elgin program. Well, another Aurora program I don't want to forget. That's how I probably got involved with Wayside quite a bit. And it said that they can't have baseball this season. The Urban Youth program.
Youth. Yeah.
I missed that baseball. I love baseball, and that's where this cap's from. And actually, this cap was at the same time Wayside. They had a seminar, or whatever you want to call it, with the kids, and they brought in a former ball player, Dave Dervecki, and he came, and this camp's got his autograph under Dave Dervecki autograph here. Yeah. And he came to several churches and other things, but yeah, that was with the Urban Youth, and I think they have, I forgot the number, it's in the hundreds maybe, that they were in the baseball. And this is sad they can't have that baseball right now. Yeah. But it'll get back soon, Lord willing. And so Urban Youth, and they work in schools too. And it's a great program. And then we have our program up in Elgin that works with the street people, basically. Yep.
And we have New Life Corrections, which is working with the
I forgot that one.
with Illinois Department of Corrections, various facilities.
Yeah, that's a key program too. That's a key program. So I think we've discussed some of the things here in Wayside. John, you think other things we could wrap it up here, or pull it together here more? You got other thoughts here about our beloved Wayside here?
I do. I can really, and our residents have seen very much the hedge of protection around Wayside. So, I would say even residents who are newer to the program have seen the way Wayside is protected and think, you know what, I need to be all about life transformation because I see that here. Because between COVID-19 and the and the rioting that was happening in Aurora, and the protests that were happening in Aurora, none of our men were in harm's way.
John, it was, I maybe the viewers and others don't know, that was dang close. I mean, I think they were just on the other side of the railroad tracks, some of the people.
Yeah, it was on the other side of the railroad tracks and on the other side of our building.
Yeah, so it
both
was
sides of our building.
Dang close. And there were some fires downtown too. They didn't go too far, but there were some. And bank got a little fire, and it's more than a little, I guess. They're really boarding it up and fixing it up. Yeah. So there was some, we're really happy that there's nothing happening right now. And my beloved Batavia was saying that nothing happened the other night. And they were boarding up there, but nothing happened.
Yeah, there were
uh-huh.
there were protests in North Aurora and Batavia, and I don't think any businesses were impacted.
Right. Well, the Batavia had a peaceful noontime thing, and just brought up these issues that we've been talking about that are very serious about injustice and the police reform needed, and that was part of that. But several hundred, well, it was quite a few. I didn't get down there, but it was quite a few there, and that was very peaceful. Like I said, nothing happened, and the roar's been quiet, and we'll keep praying for that and the ongoing work here at Wayside. And so maybe we can get, I don't know about normal, but we're getting back to some more, I don't want to use the word normal because we don't know what, it's normal what it is right now. So it's normal. I don't know.
Yeah, we're easing back into it gently.
Yeah, we're coming back to somewhere where we knew before, but there's going to be changes here no matter how we look at this with this, if this virus doesn't move out too. So we'll just pray that Wayside can move ahead, and the men too. And I've known many of the men there, and it's just a blessing. And so says my internet stable is unstable. But we're almost done. It says it's unstable. Okay. I don't know whose end is unstable, but somebody's unstable here. Anyway, John, I just want to thank you for being with us. I'm going to throw up your information on how we can get more about Wayside, the website and the Facebook. I will do that a little later here in the afternoon. So, John Beall, I just want to thank you for joining this conversation we had.
Yeah.
And we got through some technical things here, and I hope we're not, quote, unstable here. Anyway, so thank you, John, very much. God bless. And I'm going to hit my recording button if I can find it now here. Okay, so I'm going to say bye-bye for the moment. God bless everybody. We're going to stop our little time here. Well, we're back here, and we're going to show something here that I missed before. We're going to put this up here. Maybe you didn't see that. I'm going to go down again. This is just a reminder that Wayside's trucks are rolling again. You can get your pickups on your bigger things. You can go online to their Facebook site, as we put up before. We'll put that up again here right now. I'll get that up here. Go to their Facebook site and get this. This is where they have bins all around drop-off points at various locations in the Fox Valley. So you can drop off your clothes and shoes and things like that. And for furniture and other things, you call them. So they're back on that. I just wanted to tell you that they're back on with those type of things. So we're grateful for that. So remember Wayside. I'm going to bring up a few more things here. We're going to wrap it up. We got our food drive that's out there, and just remember to come by to First Presbyterian next Wednesday at 6 to 8. The time on this thing doesn't say that, but 6 to 8 at the Harkness Center, 60 South 4th, with the canned soup, canned fruit, canned meat, canned vegetables, and canned pasta. That's all they want, nothing else. And come at 6 to 8 on Wednesday, and also Thursday at 10 till noon. So that's what's happening there. And I just wanted to say on Monday, we got a mystery guest. We haven't got that done yet. So Monday at 5, be with us. Be with us again at Monday at 5. And I wanted to just say thank you for joining us this afternoon and being with us. And I just want to say now to all you out there, God bless and bye-bye.